Okay, hey guys, been away for a while, a lot of stuff going on. Just nice little afternoon. I thought I'd get up and fly, get some stuff going, and maybe even muse a little bit about the recent announcement about the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Who saw that one coming? I did not. Maybe some of you did. I've got some thoughts, both kind of, I guess, pro and con, if you will. So what I'm going to do is get this helicopter up and going. It looks like it's got me coming from a cold start. So give me a second, and I am going to get get this thing started. If you have thoughts, please do post them, and I'm definitely curious about what you have to say. Also, getting ready to go to the Flight Sim Expo in Houston, Texas, here in the States. I'm excited about that. I am going to be down there. I'm going to try to get some good video footage and some clips and maybe score some interviews with the who's who and what's what of the flight sim world. So let me get this guy going here. I have not done this in a bit, so give me a minute. Let's see, get all that going. And up to the top, you got to make sure that that's going, the magneto, plasma, and let me unmute that and kind of see where we are. And let's take a look. It's starting to kind of wind up a little bit. I do love this helicopter still. Oh. There we go. Sometimes you have to hit that ignition start button more than once to get it going. I've got it kind of in the evening. I'm going to try out, I love doing the dream scenery light packages. So I like doing that. I'm going to mess with the time of day a little bit as we fly. And also testing out this new headset. This is a different headset with a different microphone. I normally use this guy, but I want to try something a little bit different. Kind of see, I'm going to bring in a little bit of some tunes. If it's too loud, let me know. And looks like everything is good to go. Stream health's looking pretty good. All right. Haven't done this in a while, and I always kind of get the helicopters confused. Sometimes you got to start with the right foot, sometimes the left. I'm going to take a guess here and go with the right. And let's add some juice and see what happens. Oh, there we go. And try not to do any like exaggerated movements here. Do a quick turn and see. I want to get kind of by the city proper. This is pretty good, right? So just in case you're wondering, I've got my settings on high. I don't seem to do very well with ultra and streaming. Like if it's just me and I'm just doing this at the house, I'll usually do ultra, maybe dial back on a setting or two. But generally speaking, when I'm streaming, I like to do it on the high settings. So, just kind of getting the lay of the land here. I like to be where the buildings, the big buildings are. Let's kind of see. Doing a nice slow turn. This would be kind of a little bit past the magic hour in terms of photography and whatnot. All right. Let's kind of follow some of these highways and see what we see. So right off the bat, I apologize. I have been away from the sim world for a couple of months. Been working on some other things, but I am back. I've got a bunch of questions to answer on some of my videos, and I'll get to those either this evening or tomorrow. And I am also gearing up for the Flight Sim Expo in Houston, Texas. So I hope that some of you guys are going there, and if not, that's okay. I'm going to try to grab some videos and get some good footage going on, and we'll maybe even, if I can snag an interview or two, that would be great. But try to get, some of the new tech that's out there. And also, I guess it is as good a time as any to discuss the whole Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So like I said, I've actually kind of been away from things for a bit. I mean, it's not like I've been at the, North Pole or anything, but I heard about it at the same time you guys did. I guess the announcement went up 4 or 5 days ago. I think I saw it the next day. And then they put up a kind of to be honest with you, a very weak, frequently asked questions kind of thing. I've kind of looked around. Everybody's got some opinions there, so I still have a bunch of questions. And as I am sure many of you do as well. First thing I would say is, and I'm guessing here because I believe some of the third-party developers have already put out that they're going to continue to support 2020, which, leads me to believe that this will still be a supported product. I don't think it's going to be a forced upgrade, but hey, I've been wrong before. So if that's the case, I think, everything's fine. So, and then, you just keep doing what you do. If they were to freeze development on it today, I kind of feel like, at least for my system, and I've been very fortunate these past 3 years, which it's weird to say 3 years since this has been out, but it's true. I feel like I've been lucky. I haven't really had any big glitches. I've had a few, but nothing major. There's been a couple times that I've done like a complete reinstall, but sometimes I just like to do that anyway. I have a low threshold for that, and I can't complain. So if this was what I was left with and I didn't want to upgrade at all and just keep going with that, I'd be perfectly happy. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I would be happy. But if they kind of shut us out somehow, then that would be, I don't like the idea of it being forced. So the other aspect of this is 2024, Microsoft 2024. Is this going to be a new engine? This is kind of like, are they upgrading something, some core component that's going to take it to the next level? Or is this just going to be an iterative release that basically just would have been, a major number? And so if that's the case, that'll be a little bit disappointing. Having said that, from just a money standpoint, so this seems to be the big thing that a lot of people that I hear that are upset, and I'm not trying to, minimize people's thoughts on this or say that they're not thinking along the right terms. I'm kind of okay with the money thing. It's a new world. Things are expensive. Part of the reason that I have kind of been away for a few months dealing with some home repairs, my God, it's just insanely expensive. And, it's just kind of the new paradigm. Things are just expensive now, way more than they were. The pandemic just accelerated so many things. And I'm going to change. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to make this a little darker and see what happens. I love flying at night. Love it. I'm kind of okay with the, if they charge however much they're going to charge, those guys, I'm sure they're doing great with this package, but, for every development project that makes it, probably 10 or 100 or 1,000 don't make it. And so oftentimes the profits from one successful package or software release funds some of the ones that don't make it. And so if this kind of furthers that, then I'm okay with that. And my instinct is that the Asobo folks, just tell me another software package where the developers are just as ubiquitous as they are and constantly doing updates and live interviews and those kind of things. And I would say that they seem enthusiastic. They seem, they just seem to geek out over this stuff just like I do. And so I'm kind of okay with that. Let's go down and do like a low-level run. See what happens. A couple of stutters there. A couple of big stutters, actually. So if it's a money grab, that is Air Manager fussing at me saying I am too low and I can't dial it up. But let me turn Air Manager just off for a second. If I crash, I crash. There we go. Okay. So just from a strict money standpoint, I'm kind of okay with it. I know money doesn't grow on trees, and $60 or $70 or however many bucks it's going to cost on top of everything else that you've already spent money on, add-ons, hardware, the extra gear and all that kind of stuff, the computers themselves. Some people will look at it as, well, gosh, $60. It's just a drop in the bucket, and then some people look at it as, well, I barely had the first $1,000 I've spent on this. $60 more is a lot. I understand both camps, and so it depends on where you're coming from. I guess my hope is that there's a part of me that's like, if 2024 is a huge release with an even better, engine, a markedly increased AI that is used to do this world building on the fly. If that's the case, then of course I think it'll be money well spent. I suspect that's not going to be the case. I'm guessing that it's going to be an increase, better, but just more like the usual, releases that we've been getting 2-3 times a year, which are awesome. Don't get me wrong, they're awesome. So this is Madrid. I'm kind of just bouncing around here. Let's say from a scale of 1 to 10, as we're flying by these buildings, and I'm looking at this, and the trees, the road, the lights, give it a good 7 or 8. But when you look at the sides of the buildings, it's all kind of wonky and warbled, and the lines are kind of wavy and not straight, and it has this kind of post-apocalyptic, after a hurricane, natural disaster kind of thing. I would give that like a 6, a 6 or a 7, but more than likely a 6. It's cool that it's all generated on the fly, I get that, but some of it's just weird looking. So if the new version, maybe the buildings look better, maybe they're straighter, maybe they're, less burned out looking. Maybe the vegetation looks less like the fungus stuff from The Last of Us, which is a great show, by the way. I hope you guys all watched it. again, this is Madrid with the Dream Scenery lighting. Not realistic, but I like the bling. I just do. I mean, this is colorful. It's awesome. I'm getting minimal stutters and hiccups here. And given everything that's going on, that's pretty good. My gear it's all right. I have a 4070 Ti. I think it's a Ti. It's a good card. My internet was upgraded recently, and I've got this insane, almost 2 gigabit upload, which is just nuts. But you know, the performance overall is pretty good. So maybe Microsoft 2024, maybe that is maybe more efficient. Maybe the coding is different. I know that, just for example, if you follow Unreal, the Unreal Engine, they've had some releases, and some of that stuff is amazing. It'd be awesome to see something like that, coupled with, you know, better AI. So, in any case, we'll see. Again, if you have any thoughts, post them in the comments. Would love to hear what you're thinking. And I know some people are it's you know, one thing about the gaming world or simulator world, that people take this stuff very seriously, as do I. I've invested a lot of time and money and effort into my setup, into my gear, into my, you know, training, if you want to call it training. And so I take it very seriously too. But I mean, some people are very angry about it. Some people are less angry, and of course, some people are like, "Bring it on! I'll pay anything. Take my money now." That kind of thing. I still feel like I need more data, and maybe it's out there. I just haven't seen it. All I've seen is a couple of posts on the Microsoft Flight Sim website, and it's just not a lot, other than coming in 2024, that most of the third-party stuff will work. Notice it doesn't say all, but most of it will. And that's about it. And again, I have seen from where some of the developers have said that they are going to continue to support their 2020 products. So that's good to hear. So I don't think anybody, at least the way I'm seeing it, I don't think anybody's gonna, you know, be forced into a corner. Although I could be wrong. I mean, but Microsoft products do tend to, I mean, you can still, you know, run FSX. Having said that, FSX doesn't rely on a server somewhere downloading all the background in the world. I know there's an offline mode for this, and you know, who knows, maybe one day that's what it'll be relegated to, is just the offline stuff, and then all of this goes away. You know, it'll look basically like FSX again, or something along the lines of X-Plane 12. I have not I just thought about, I have not been on any of the X-Plane forums in a while, and I'm wondering what they're thinking about the Microsoft 2024. I'll be honest with you, I still think X-Plane 12 is great. I really do. I don't have anything bad to say, but I don't even have it loaded on this machine anymore. And I'm not current on what's going on over there at all. And I kind of feel like I've seen a lot of the gist of it was that although X-Plane 12 is awesome, it was a disappointing upgrade from 11.5, which 11.5 was awesome. I mean, really, if you spent some time and got your your, you know, your ortho overlays done and your scenery dialed in, man, X-Plane 11.5 was great. And I'm sure X-Plane 12, you can pretty much do all of that. But as an upgrade, I paid for it. I was happy to pay for it. But, you know, it didn't really do a lot for me. Which, again, makes me wonder, is 2024 going to be the same way? I mean, is it just going to be this small, kind of like, yeah, it's better, but it's not awesomely better. It's not. I can't say it's not $60 better, because really $60, you know, like I said, I'm conflicted. Bottom line is, I'm conflicted and need more data for sure. So anyway, I kind of land, and if I can find a place to land, you know what? I'm getting better at this, or I was before I took my time off. What is that? Is that like a little? Yeah, let's try it. See if I can do it. This is harder than it looks. That's lame. That was totally lame. But anyway, let's switch it back. So anyway, I'm gonna do another one of these later on tonight. I think I just wanted to kind of make sure my gear was working and kind of get everything updated and all that. And I do apologize for being away, and I'll get some of those questions from some of the videos updated and all of that. Bottom line is, I 2024, whether it was going to be 2024 or some other version down the road, eventually they were going to do something. And I guess 4 years, depending on when it comes out, 4 years is not a small amount of time. That's a college degree and all of that, and $60 over 4 years probably is not that big a deal, but it is kind of the principle of the thing, especially initially when they were, of course, talking about it'd be 10 years and all this kind of stuff. So I can understand the backlash. I really can, but I think I want to wait till I hear more before I decide if this is a good thing or bad thing. Again, any questions about any of this, let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I'm probably going to do another flight later on tonight, and hopefully see you guys out. And you guys have a great day.